is Shonta, and I'm a mom and a wife, and I'm someone who loves to cook. I live in Mississippi, been cooking since I was about 8. My great-grandmother and I, we spent many hours in the kitchen, especially on Sundays. So my passion is cooking, and I've often been asked for recipes or asked how to fix something or how to prepare something. So I got to thinking, so why not put together a few videos and actually show the people what I love to do. So today we're getting ready to make some cupcakes. My son has a big bake sale going on at his university. So I'm about to get comfortable because I've just come in from work. So I'm going to change, get comfortable, hit the kitchen, and make a few dozen cupcakes. Hope you enjoy. So we're getting ready to make my famous red velvet cupcakes. So we're going to start out with a cup, well, 3/4 of a cup of butter. And we're going to add 2 1/4 cup of sugar. So this is a very important step because this is what aerates your batter. So we're going to whip this until it becomes real fluffy, and it'll even change colors. It'll become white. So we're going to whip this for about 5 to 7 minutes. Start it off slow. Let everything get mixed up. And then we'll turn it up on high so we can get as much air in there as possible. So you may want to see how it looks now, and then we'll look at how it looks after the 5 to 7 minutes of whipping and getting the air in there. It's going to look a lot different than it looks right now. Okay, so everything's getting mixed up. Now we're going to turn it up on high. Let that go for about 5 to 7 minutes. Okay, so the butter's been whipping now for about 7 minutes or so, 5 to 7 minutes. And as you can see, it looks a lot different than it did when we first started. So now it's got air in it, and now it's light and fluffy. So the next step, we're going to add 3 eggs. And we're going to add them in one at a time. And we're going to make sure that we beat it real well after the addition of each egg. To stop your beater and to scrape down the sides of your bowl so that you can make sure that everything gets incorporated really well. And you may have to do this a couple times during the process of beating up the cake. So I'm going to turn this back on. Let that go a little bit. And so like we said, we're making a red velvet cake, so of course it's got to be red. So now we're getting ready to add in a mixture of red food coloring, cocoa powder, and vanilla flavor. So we mix that up together, and now we're going to pour that into our sugar, butter, and egg mixture. And you notice also I turned the beater down because you don't want this to splash all over your kitchen or all over you. So get all of that in there. So we've got to make sure that that's beat up really well so that you'll have an even red color. So now everything's in, so I can turn it up some. Okay, again, we're going to stop it and scrape down the sides like we did earlier. Because again, we want to make sure that everything is incorporated really well. So that's done. So we're going to start beating again. And so now it's time to add in your cake flour 3½ cups. And we're also going to add in some buttermilk. And there is also some salt. 1½ teaspoons of salt that's been mixed in with the buttermilk. We're going to add the flour and the buttermilk alternately. We're going to start with the flour, then add some buttermilk, and we'll do that about 3 times. But always make sure that you begin with the flour and end with the flour. Okay. So we're going to add in about 1/3 of the flour mixture. And again, make sure you're using cake flour. Okay, next we're going to add in some of our buttermilk and salt. Keep that going. Add in another 1/3 of the cake flour. Now we're going to add in the last of the buttermilk. Remember to start and end with the cake flour. Get that mixed up, and then we'll add in the last of the flour. That's the last of the flour. Let that get incorporated really, really well. And then we have one final step. Okay. So let's stop it again and scrape everything down. You want to make sure that everything gets mixed in really, really well. And so that's what we're doing. Okay, so we're going to turn that back on and add in our final ingredient. And our final ingredient, and I think this is the secret to it, we're adding in a mixture of 1½ teaspoons of apple cider vinegar and 1½ teaspoons of baking soda. Some people just use the regular vinegar. I prefer the apple cider vinegar. I think it just makes it taste a lot better. So we're going to put that in, turn it up a little bit. And that's it. Whipped up the batter. It's nice and fluffy and red. That's why it's called red velvet cake. So we're getting ready to put these into the cupcake liner. So as you can see, this has been cupcake day at our house. So I'm baking some cupcakes for my son. He has a project at school. So far we've done chocolate and vanilla and now red velvet. One more to go. And I like to put the batter in using a scoop because that way you can make sure that the cupcakes are uniform in size, and it's a lot easier than trying to use a spoon. And then after I put all the cupcake batter in the liners, then we'll put it in a preheated oven that's been preheated to 350, and then we will bake these for about 20 to 25 minutes, or until you insert a cake tester and it comes out clean, nothing on it. And then they're ready to pull out. And then after we do that and they cool, we'll frost them with a homemade cream cheese frosting. Nothing fancy. Finish frosting these and they will be ready to eat.